Elm Creek Park Reserve serves many purposes for humans and wildlife alike. On Friday morning, it was a home to researchers. This is the second year the University of Minnesota researchers are using Elm Creek to learn more about deer and the diseases they carry. We'll take a look at what they're learning from the project and what made today a little different. Visitors at Elm Creek Park Reserve were treated to a rare sight Friday morning. Deer airborne.
In this space, we have big parks that normally are frozen this time of year that they can come out and, catch the deer in.
Three Rivers Park District's John Moriarty supplies the space for the project, where deer across the 5,000-acre park are picked up by helicopter pilots, then brought to another spot to be collared.
These are actually things that send up locations to satellites every hour or so.
This is the second year of the project, and they've already learned a lot.
So the deer actually stay out in the neighborhoods more in the winter, so it has changed some of the use.
Researchers from the University of Minnesota take samples to test for a number of diseases, including SARS-CoV-2.
So how are the deer using their environment, and what resources do they use, and then what implications that has for disease transmission.
Associate Professor Megan Kraft says that process takes about 10 minutes, and then deer are released back into the wild. Though temperatures were far below freezing, today's study was another victim of the unusually warm winter.
And so we're not going to continue going today because we don't want people and deer in open water.
The project was cut short. Moriarty says they caught just 8 or 9 Friday morning instead of their goal of 40.
And I'm gonna grab the green cap tube.
Those safety precautions made lighter work for the indoor on-site lab.
There's so many sample types we're working with, so having a team of folks and just kind of pairing up by sample is really helpful.
Once they sort the samples, they're stored and then sent to another lab to be tested. That research is just a part of the work that's being done across the country, benefiting wildlife and human populations alike. The team also collected deer samples in Shakopee and in Carver Park Reserve earlier this week. The Hennepin County Board of Commissioners ended a $48 million deal with North Memorial Health to help cover the costs of patients on government programs. The county board moved ahead with the agreement last May. The county agreed to provide North Memorial with funding to treat patients on Medicare and county assistance programs. The board voted to end the agreement about a year before it expired.
We cannot be a blank check for private entities.
And I believe that when the money is removed from the agreement, that North Memorial will do what businesses do. They have to right size their operations. It'll be the people who can least afford it who will pay the price.
About 20,000 visits to North Memorial a year involve Medicare patients. A campaign to crack down on drunken driving over the holidays resulted in an extreme impaired driving case in Brooklyn Park. Court records show David Karpitsky of Brooklyn Park is charged with 2 counts of second-degree driving while impaired. According to the criminal complaint, a breath test put his blood alcohol level at 0.37, nearly 5 times the legal limit. The complaint said he was driving a Mercedes when he struck another vehicle, causing an accident near 93rd and Zane Avenues. According to the Department of Public Safety, this case was the 3rd highest blood alcohol concentration for drivers arrested in the Twin Cities over the holiday enforcement campaign. The city of Osseo approved to hire 3 new police officers this year. 2 of these hires were announced this week. Chief Shane Michelson introduced the hires at this week's city council meeting. Edgar Gallegos has previous experience with the Hopkins and Golden Valley Police Departments. Katie Harris comes to Osseo after working as a community service officer in Anoka. According to Chief Michelson, it's the first expansion of the city's police department since 2019, putting the number of sworn officers at 10. With below zero temperatures in the forecast, the Salvation Army wants to ensure that those without shelter have a place to stay warm. Brooklyn Park Salvation Army on Noble Avenue is one of 7 service centers throughout the Twin Cities that will serve as a warming house when the temperature and wind chill dips below zero. Folks are welcome to stop by on weekends during normal business hours to get out of the cold and enjoy a warm beverage. According to the National Weather Service, the wind chill early next week is not expected to get above zero. A good place to get out of the cold and enjoy some magnificent artwork is in Robbinsdale. In today's Weekend Showcase, photojournalist Dustin Scholl takes us to the Robbin Gallery for a unique showing of polymer clay art.
It's a great combination showing what a painter can do and a polymer clay artist bringing out the colors in the world.
The bright colors and lots of intricacies is what I expect to see.
This piece was also done by the Guild. Each person chose a favorite color, then used our various techniques to create kind of a rainbow. It shows many different techniques that you can do with polymer clay. I joined the Polymer Clay Guild almost right away when I started working with it. And I looked at everybody else's work and I thought, what these people are doing is amazing, and I would like to be able to do that too. It's so versatile. It's an incredible medium. I love it.
I get into colors. Cobalt blue and black are a couple that I've been really into for several years.
We all need art in our lives, and I think polymer clay is extremely accessible to all ages.
I think this supports the uplifted and calm and fanciful things that really feed the human spirit. These are my newest pieces. I have several pieces I've done that are lily pads. I'm just on a kick with that.
The heron is standing in the Minnehaha Creek over in Hopkins. Mostly it just involves laying on the color and then texturing it to simulate reeds or grass or the bird's feathers.
Well, I think it's really accessible. A lot of bright, bold colors, which is nice in the middle of Minnesota winter.
The exhibit runs through the end of the month. The gallery is open Fridays and Saturdays from 1 to 5 and Sundays from 1 to 4.
The Wayzata wrestling team has faced a lot of tough competition at tournaments this season. Thursday, they faced another top 10 team in a tri-meet that also included Hopkins. Jay Wilcox has the highlights.
Wayzata hosting Hopkins and Shakopee in a tri-meet in wrestling. The Trojans facing Hopkins first. Second-ranked Luke Coonan of Wayzata pins Ezra Wolf in the 121-pound match, and it's quickly 18-0 Trojans. At 145, Caden Wong uses a double armbar, and it leads to a fall over Joseph Sidlarevich as Wayzata continues to dominate. Hopkins gets its lone win at heavyweight. Logan Ross gets the takedown on Briggs Opp on the way to a 4-2 win, but Wayzata rolls over Hopkins 66-3. Then it's 6th-ranked Wayzata meeting 3rd-ranked Shakopee. Shakopee starts strong. Anthony Heim pins Zeke Rodriguez in the 114-pound match as the Sabres get out to a 10-0 lead to start the match. At 133, Wayzata's top-ranked Logan Swenson uses the tilt to score near-fall points as he beats 10th-ranked Calvin Miller 15-4 for a major decision. But it's mostly Shakopee. Connor Warren uses the half Nelson and pins Wong in the 145-pound match for a 26-9 Sabres lead. In the marquee match of the night at 160, Shakopee's second-ranked Jackson Barron gets the escape and edges top-ranked Charlie Pettit 2-0. Shakopee rolls over Wayzata 47-15. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Injuries have played a big role in the season for the Benilde-St. Margaret's girls basketball team. They are getting healthier now, and that's showing up on the court. Ches Moots has highlights from the Red Knights' latest win.
Senior forward and Michigan commit Olivia Olson returned back last week after missing 7 games due to a hand injury. Her and the Red Knights were taking on New Prague. Olson wasted no time. Off the tip, she gets the ball back and goes right to the rack for 2. Then Olson shows she can hit from deep as well, pulls up from behind the arc and knocks down the 3. Red Knights up 11-1. Still in the first half, Mira Wismer, nice take inside and 1 finish. BSM up big. Then in transition, Wismer to Olson, who taps it to Zahara Bishop for 2 of her 17 points. Presley Watkins had 14. She gets the steal and dishes it to Olson, who had a game-high 24 points. BSM won 78-39, and Olson is glad to be back on the court.
It's so fun. I feel like sometimes you take it for granted, like when you're not hurt and you're just playing, stuff gets hard, but when you're out, you kind of realize like it's so cool to be able to do what you do and at a high level all the time. And I get to play 3 times a week, practice every day, and just getting to work hard and being the best I can be. And I feel like I take that more serious now, and I'm just really happy to play again.
In St. Louis Park, Ches Moots, CCX Sports.
After losing 5 times in a stretch of 6 games in December, the Breck girls hockey team is back to racking up wins. They faced rival Blake for a 3rd time in the last couple of weeks Thursday.
The Mustangs on home ice skating for their 12th win of the season as they host the rival Bears. Late first period, Breck's McKenna Schleeman skates into the Blake zone, backhands the puck out front. It's loosened in traffic before Lucia Junkie knocks it into the net. Breck leads 1-0 after 1 period. Both goalies keep it that way. Blake's Jamie McGaughan with a nice second period stop on Taylor Hall. 26 saves on the night from McGaughan. At the other end, Breck's Bryn McKinnon facing a 2-on-0 break comes up with a big save on Charlotte Palmby. 1-0 late in the game, extra attacker out for Blake, but McKinnon makes another save to preserve the shutout. Breck wins it 1-0. The Mustangs are now 12-5 on the season. John Jacobson, CCX Sports. Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.